Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss a show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Elena J. So what if your kid, who's an athlete, came up to you and said that they want to kneel during the National Anthem for the next sports season? How would you handle that? As you go through life, things change. But what is something about you that just never has changed? Plus, the Playhouse played their favorite game, Give Us a Word and Learn a New Word, Logomaki? What the heck is that? All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
If you guys were here Friday, OPP, we did it on Friday. We got a call from a guy named Andy, and let me summarize it real quick. This is kind of what he said.
My twin sons, they're going to be high school sophomores in the fall, and we were talking about the whole Drew Brees controversy at dinner last night. They plan to play football in the fall and told my wife and I that they would like to kneel during the National Anthem like Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, so basically we said, what are your thoughts on this? I know everybody's got a side. And you immediately had a thought. And OPP is for you. It's other people's problems, but your thoughts. And immediately we got a text message, and I wanted to make sure that we could get her on the radio this morning.
Yes, she is ready and waiting. She's going to give her opinion. I read it, and I was just thinking, I just think about my child, and I don't want to stifle him in any way, but she says kids should be, I guess, basically.
Andrea, what are you thinking here?
Honestly, I think this dad needs to lead his kids down the right path. I mean, I come from a long line of servicemen and women, and when I see youth not stand for the flag, it seriously makes me so angry. I mean, I think they need to be told that people sacrificed to bring us freedom. That's how we got freedom, by their sacrifice, and by not standing, you're not honoring them. I mean, I know you can't convince everyone to think like you, but I think until your kids are 18, you need to encourage them to do what you say, that you need to teach them to do the right thing. And at 18, if they want to make up their own mind, they're an adult and they can do that. But
you think before 18, a child can't make decisions for themselves?
I think they can, but I think they're influenced. I think they're influenced by these stars, these athletes doing it, and they're just doing it because of that. They're not doing it because it's what they really, truly feel. That's what I think.
Well, hey, I appreciate your thoughts. You can hit us up, and let's get to Jennifer real quick. What do you think about this?
I really don't think that we should allow kids to be doing that. I don't think that they really understand what it means, and I think their brain doesn't really can't grasp what the ramifications are.
Do you think if they do kneel that they should be penalized by their coach?
I don't know if that's the coach's job as a parent. I think I would be doing some talking to them. I don't know. I feel like we should be teaching them patriotism and how to really grasp that there's people before us that lost their lives for us to even have that right to kneel. Kaepernick had the right to kneel, and, he kind of paid some prices for that. So I just think kids aren't really, their brain is not able to really digest all of that and understand yet.
See, and I appreciate your call. I don't know if I agree with that part. If we're going to give them keys to a car and, give them the point where they have to get, good GPAs to get into good schools at one point, we trust them with that. I think we can trust them making this decision, but I also agree that you got to know why you're doing it, not just because someone else is doing it.
This could be a great opportunity for even adults to sit down and maybe even sway the way you think. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe you want to forever stand, and that, to me, whatever you decide to do, it is up to you.
Yeah. I would like to introduce you all to the queen of the wuss bags. Her name is Elena J. And the reason I say that is you're how old and you still won't do what?
I'm 27 and I will not touch a fish.
Why?
You're not alone. A lot of people don't like that feeling.
I don't know. It's always disgusted me. I have gone fishing. My family, my dad is a fisherman, so all of us girls would go fishing with him, and I would just, not touch the fish.
Not with the pliers or anything. You just want, will you bait your own hook?
No, I will not bait my own hook.
You will put a worm on a hook?
No, I will not do that. And so it's funny because there's tons of pictures of me as a kid. You'll see me and you'll see a fish in front of me and my dad's hand is holding the fish and I'm just standing back there smiling. And there's actually one photo where I tried to touch it, but I had to have my sleeves covering my hand. And so you see the sleeves like chilling there with the fish. Yeah, I just will not do it.
How long have your parents had that lake place?
They've had it for about 5 years, but we had a lake place prior to that when I was a kid.
So you never wanted to use that giant silver spoon that was up your butt to touch any of the fish or anything like that?
No. No,
Oh.
and it's funny because my little sister, older sister, they'll do it. They'll bait their hooks with leeches. No way. I won't even touch worms. So my girlfriend this past weekend, we went fishing. She had to bait the hooks with the, the worms.
What would y'all do? Would you
off.
just not fish if she wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't fish.
Period.
I just can't.
No.
You're a grown ass woman and you won't put a worm on a hook.
But you'll eat it.
I'll eat it. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the worm, the fish.
So some things never change. Elena's never been able to take a fish off a hook or even bait a hook. Kat, in your world, what has never changed?
And I'm trying to work on it, is my compassion for people that get hurt. Because I just, like, if it's a big
You see someone
injury,
fall off their bike, you laugh.
I don't feel bad. And that's like, it's sick. I've tried to reevaluate myself. Like, why does your brain work that way? Why can't you go, oh my God, that's so horrible. Run up to them. There was a kid that was walking yesterday and he just ate it on the cement and he was young. But in my head, I go, well, he's pretty close to the ground. Like he was chew.
You justify a kid getting hurt.
And he started crying, but his mom was pretty far away, but she started running at him. I could have knelt down and gone, you okay, buddy? But I didn't. I really try hard. I try hard with my son. I try hard with Derek. Derek has always had this complaint that I don't take care of him like his mom would when he is sick.
Oh, God.
And in my mind, I'm just like, it's a cold. You have to get over
You're
it.
a grown man.
I know.
I shouldn't have to take care of you like your mommy did when you were 6.
So I would say my lack of compassion.
Yeah, it's coming through bright and clear right
I
now.
know. I
Really,
really try.
really streaming hard right now. Kicking it into full gear. So that's what I wanted to know. If the phrase "some things never change" was applied to your life. For Kat, it's just she doesn't care about anybody. For Elena, she just won't take a fish off a hook or
What's
even
yours?
bait the hook. I will always be sarcastic towards you if I think you're okay. Like the people, if I never say anything mean to you, then I think you're not worth talking to mostly.
Yeah.
If I'm just always nice to you, then just whatever, kiss off. But I usually am just like that's how I associate with people I like. Is I will make fun of them. I will be sarcastic towards them. I will be, whatever, just kind of a smart ass towards them.
That's hard to find that line, though, because if you make a joke to somebody and
Well-
they don't like it, you've seen how that goes.
Yeah, I'm really not too bothered by that anymore at this point in
Dandelions
my
and their
life.
heads pop off. That's not a good joke to make to any Canadian.
Megan, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Great. Some things never change. And in Megan's life, what has never changed?
My ability to shut my mouth.
Oh, hey, you and I are like brothers from another mother because, that filter thing doesn't work well with me
Is
either.
this Megan R?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do you know Megan from Snapchat or what?
No, it's our lice lady.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, hey, what's going on, Megan? All right, so what do you when you give us an example of no filter?
I just like all of the things that people typically never say out loud because it's just wildly inappropriate, or they should just keep their mouth shut. Those are the first things I say out loud.
The first things
Are you ever surprised when it doesn't go well? Or are you always expecting
I feel
something?
like I'm always surprised. People are like, Megan. I'm like, what? They're like, you shouldn't have said that. I'm like, why?
So to
it's
you,
true, though.
those people are weird.
Yeah,
they don't say
why
what's
are
on
you
their
not just saying the truth out loud
Yeah.
all the time?
Huh.
But
Well,
apparently,
that's
I hurt a
JJ
lot
too.
of people's feelings, and apparently, I'm a giant bee to most.
Yeah, but we remember you.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, you're going to go down in history as somebody, when it's all said and done and they put the dirt on top of you, they're going to go, yeah, but Megan, she was the life of the party, man. So, she was kind of a bee. Who cares about that? But we remember her, right?
Exactly.
I
That's
gotcha.
so
Hey,
true.
thanks for checking in this morning. Have a great day, all right? Hey, John, how are you today, buddy?
Good.
Good. Now, you heard... Yeah, I'm great. Thanks for asking, bud. Now, you heard that our friend Elena here won't take a fish off a hook, but you have some advice for her so that she can go back to living a normal life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Just put a glove on.
Okay. A lot of people recommend just wear gloves and it should be easier. I don't know if it is a texture thing with Elena or if it's just her a mental grody. I don't know where the issue is.
It's all that. It's
okay.
Now, John, will you take a fish off
Maybe
the
bring
hook?
some hand sanitizer.
Say that again, buddy.
Maybe bring some hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
You are
okay.
adorable. I can't even with this one.
Will you take
You're
your
so
own?
cute.
Will you take your own fish off the hook, John?
Yeah, but I have to use a glove where my dad or mom does it.
Okay, so you got to use it. Where are your mom and dad, by the way, right now? You got family? You got some supervision going on there at all?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
good.
making this.
Oh, all right.
You sound like you are just a good kid. What are you doing today? What, your summer plans?
Just staying home with my parents.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all right.
Which one do you like more, your mom or your dad?
Maybe they're a little equal.
Okay. Do you have any brothers or sisters, John?
They're both there, aren't they?
Just one sister, younger.
Is she cool?
A little bit.
A little bit. Not much, though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish every kid was like you when they call in, John.
You're really
We have
well
kids
spoken.
that call in the bus. They're like, I want to hear a song. And then they hang up and they're just like, they call in. They're all like that. They're all weird tweens. I want you to keep this personality. All right, John?
Get it?
You're going far.
And, hey, what glove hand? What's your glove hand for fishing?
Right.
Right. Okay. Fair enough, man. Hey, always good to talk to you, John. I hope you have a really good day today, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. See you later, buddy. Bye. Anybody get the impression that John's parents had zero idea that he had called the radio station?
What a great kid.
That was a good kid. I like him.
Weird news.
Now, you know me. You know I'm always up for the latest spa fads. I did that steam box, the V-steam box. That was pretty incredible. I would do it today in a heartbeat. It was pretty amazing. But I don't know if I'd get into this. It is one of the strangest concepts from massages. They are now using meat cleavers.
Ooh.
And it's a resurgence in Taiwan. So I don't know why it went away in the first place.
Are they just
but
like
they say,
not sharp?
What?
Are they
No,
just-
they're very sharp. And they sharpen them, and it's all about the point of the knife in certain areas, the sharpened edges that break up toxins in your body. They know what's going on, but it could make its way to America. You get one person, though, that's having a bad day,
Yeah.
and they're your masseuse, and it all goes downhill from there.
You're the worst driver I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know how to drive.
You don't know how to drive.
The worst driver of all time.
The worst driver on the planet.
UK police recently stopping a man for going 130 miles per hour. But that's what this whole situation does to people when they have been craving something for a long time and the restaurant hasn't been open. And it reopens. He was headed to McDonald's and he had been craving their burgers. He drove 42 miles at 130 miles per hour. I'm not good at math. I won't even try. But officers seized the guy's car, had no insurance, all over some burgers. So
That means he got there in just about 20 minutes.
Yeah. But,
That's cooking.
Yep, but they busted him. No burgers in jail, and that is what's weird.
By the way, we went and dropped off Elena some donuts on Friday to hospital workers, frontline workers, BioLife, firefighters, stuff like that. Saw my life flash before my eyes at least 3 times riding with Kat.
This man is the oldest person I've ever driven with.
No.
Like,
there was
I can't
twice.
even believe how
you know
you
that,
reacted to
you know
certain-
that
He
old,
was glancing over. His bald head went right in front of mine just to see what the odometer was at, or speedometer. And I was like, get over
she's doing
it.
like 55 in town. She makes the hardest
nuts.
stops at a stop sign. She goes all the way to the white line. And the one time I almost hit my head. And there was
I heard him go,
4 different times I used the old crap handle.
Oh my
We're
God.
in town. And I had to use the old crap handle.
You're just such drama.
I want to play you guys something real quick and see if you guys can figure out what this sound is. Listen really close. You know what that is?
I know. Is it that whole town that went in the ocean?
No.
This weekend?
Did you see that though? Where was that? Norway?
It was messed up.
Yeah. Like I've often said, living on the beach would be really, really awesome.
But I mean, these
not
people,
that close.
It wasn't on the beach, really. You know,
They
it
were
was like,
only a couple hundred yards away from the ocean.
I know, but to have an entire part of that town just like completely be swallowed up.
So
by
the ocean, it eroded underneath them.
Yeah.
For years and years and years, and nobody really knew it. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, it took away like half the town.
Thank God they had I don't even know how they had the heads up. You know, how would you even have the heads up?
I think
and then
you
all of a
start
sudden it
hearing
broke.
some crackling and stuff like that. But listen to this. Elena, you want to take a stab at this?
Something with a boat?
Oh, you're not far off, Kat.
UFO?
No. So I don't know. Have you guys ever been? Either of you guys been to San Francisco? Have
Yes.
you driven across the Golden Gate Bridge? Well, the biggest problem they have with the Golden Gate Bridge is anytime there's an earthquake or anything that's really, really super windy, that you get motion on this bridge. It moves, it shakes, and that's it's obviously anything a little more violent than that can be bad. So what they did is over the last 2 years, the project has been to kind of aerodynamic size the Golden Gate Bridge a little bit more. And so they finished all their construction. They're realizing now if the wind blows at like 12 to 14 miles an hour, it makes this sound now. This is the bridge. It like resonates at a frequency that humans can hear.
I don't know if you've ever seen the video of the Tacoma Bridge collapse. Have you seen that?
Yeah, for sure.
When the wind was going crazy.
And it gets all bouncy and then it snaps.
The cars and the people that were on it. Yeah. I mean, that's a crazy
But video. I was just like, oh, it's the middle of summer. Let's go for a little walk. We're down by the Golden Gate Bridge. And you hear this for hours. Jeez. We were just talking about this on Friday. I had a friend that lived in Chicago. He lived a block away from the L train. And he said after the first week that he lived there, he didn't even notice it anymore.
Really?
I'm like, I could
the Niagara Falls people.
Yeah, right. But they're going buck wild now. They're going crazy when they get into a spot. Like, they go to the movie theater and it's quiet. It makes them crazy. Jeez. They snap. They lose their stuff.
That's why I don't live
there. So anyways, I just wanted to play this for you because I thought, what if you do buy one of those really expensive $16 million homes just on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge and the wind is blowing just right and you hear this all day long? Killing me. So I want you to tell us real quick about your best friend from childhood, Kat. Who was your best friend from back in the day? And maybe, so for me, my best friend moved away when I was 8 years old, and moved to Wisconsin. And I literally, during that last song, I looked him up and he lives in St. Paul.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So who was your best friend?
My best friend growing up was probably, three of us were pretty tight. I would have to say Kelly Washburn.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's it.
Elena?
How far we disconnect.
Do you keep in touch with her? Is this one of the girls you went to your Dirty 30 California trip with and then you hated her?
I would never say I hated her. I just, people just grow apart. And it was like one of the saddest trips I've ever taken. Like, you go there to celebrate turning 30, all 7 of us. And then all of a sudden you're like, we are nothing alike anymore. Oh. But I still love her family. We just did that drive-by for...
you don't like her, but you like her family.
I love her family. Her dad just turned 70, so we did that birthday parade for him.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't like her. I just saw a different side of her that was not growing the way I thought it should have grown by 30.
She's a bad person now.
No, I never said she was bad.
Elena, who was your best friend growing up?
It was Rebecca. We lived on the same block and we would hang out every day, go bike riding, go to the park.
What's she doing right now?
She's married back still in East Grand Forks right now. And she's married to her high school sweetheart. We were there the night when they just kind of started hanging out. Freshman year of high school, and just got married a couple of years ago.
You know, we have a lot of couples like that I went to middle school with, even celebrating like 20 some years together. Mm-hmm. It's so weird because you do so much growing after high school into college, and they had to do that all together. I just think it's like crazy to look on Facebook.
So my best friend was Sam Riesgraff, and then he moved to Wisconsin. I see now that he owns Deer's Food Locker in St. Paul. So it looks like they do a ton of processing of deer and stuff like that. Elena, you would love this place. This looks right up your alley. This looks...
Are you saying that for real there?
Between that and the zoo, we're going to have a good day. What are you doing, Jada?
I'm headed to take my little boy to the doctor.
Oh, everything okay?
Yeah, just having a 6-month checkup.
I got you.
Where are you from? Are you a transplant?
I am from Georgia.
Yeah, what part?
Little peach.
Vidalia, Georgia. If you've ever heard of a Vidalia onion, then you would know.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I appreciate you being on the show this morning. The game is Give Us a Word. So if you give us a word, we have to ramble on based on that word for 60 seconds. And if we can't, we hook you up with some prizes. And if we can, we're probably going to hook you up anyways. So give me a word.
All right. Y'all's word is going to be logomachy.
Logomachy. Go, Cats.
Yep. Logomachy is something that used to be yelled at me as I would walk down streets. And you know what? It used to happen when I was 19 when I really looked logomachy. But now I'm in my 30s and I have to pay people to yell logomachy at me. And it's just not a place I want to be.
Logomachy reminds me of the video game world where Elena was playing the other day and somebody had the nickname Lego Booby. And it made me want to play the video game. What was the name of that game, by the way?
Yeah, the game is called Valorant. And there's definitely a lot of logomachy that goes on during Valorant. Basically, it's an argument about words, and constantly people are just arguing. Kind of like how you, Kat, and JJ argue all the time.
We do argue, but it's brother-sisterly love, rather than how you and I logomachy, Elena, where you do things that are very hurtful, and then I have to tease you with pumpernickel. And that's what happens. We go back and forth, and pumpernickel for the win, always.
All because we posted a picture of Kat's 9-year anniversary of the happiest moment of her life on Playhouse Mornings on Facebook. You can go catch that right now, and I guarantee Oh, we did it! Oh, my God! I can't believe we made it!
What is logo maki.
Thank goodness for Google.
Did you know what it meant, Jada? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I did.
Now, how do you know this? You were an English major at one point or what?
Oh, definitely not. I just, you come across some weird words.
Yeah. That's a good one, though.
I heard once, and I was like, what does that mean?
Not bad, not bad. Hang on a second. I'm going to make sure we get you hooked up with some goodies, and I appreciate you rolling with us, and say hi to your little man for us, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on. I appreciate you.
That was a good one. A dispute about or over words.
I don't know if I've ever heard that. Hey, Belinda, do you know what logo maki means?
I have no idea what that means.
That one was disturbing and confusing to me. So give us a word, maybe something a little bit more mainstream today. Give me a word, Belinda.
Hypothesis.
Go, Kat.
Hypothesis. This is something that you have to come up with when you're in school. What you think something will end up being. And a lot of people have their own hypothesis as to how certain people are going to end up being when they are a baby. And I have no idea where to go with that.
The most interesting hypothesis is that we all came from a single cell organism that decided to branch out. And then it got to a monkey, and then it got to Cat's family, and now we're standing upright. And that's the way I like it right now. I'm pretty happy with the evolution of man and woman right now, Elena J.
Yeah, as am I. And when it comes to hypotheses, almost every day I make a hypothesis. How is this show going to go? What are Kat and JJ going to do? And every day I am wrong. Right, Kat?
Yes, you are always wrong. Wrong with everything. So that would be my hypothesis. Is Elena going to be right or wrong? I would always say wrong.
I would say Kat almost had a small breathing episode right there trying to figure out what her hypothesis was, because I think the green hat on her head is a little bit too tight and it's causing a lack of blood flow to the brain, which is normal. We made it. Oh my God, that was difficult.
You find something wrong with everything. Didn't you wear that shirt on Friday?
Yes. Then I watched it on Saturday and I wore it to bed, almost to bed last night. I wore it to eat last night, and then I just wore it again this morning. I'm telling you, Belinda, you ever had
oh my God,
a jalapeno popper that stuck with you for the better part of 18 hours and just wrecked your next day?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, never had that problem.
Well, I'm going on 90 minutes of hearing about this lower abdomen snake bite
Belinda,
situation, and I'm just ready to walk.
My beehole is on fire so bad right now, just from 2 jalapeno poppers. It's messing up my whole day. I can't sit. It hurts to just be alive right now. Like if I had the option, I would just go to sleep right now for like another 2 or 3 hours.
You know how those potholes and bumps are going to feel on the moped?
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Well, see, the reason why I don't have problems with jalapeno poppers is because when I was a little kid, that's all I used to eat that a lot and make that a lot. That's my Hispanic side of my. That's the Hispanic side of my family.
Well, apparently, I got
Not
zero Hispanic anything going on right now.
No.
So I'm just going to go take care of my beehole. We're still going to hook you up, okay?
All right.
Okay, hang on a second. Have a great morning. She didn't want to hear about that. I can't believe it.
Podcast. Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend. Immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.